everyone, this is Anatole, and this is my review of the OA Season 1, Episode 5, titled Paradise. Scored 8.5 on IMDb, and I want to comment again on genre, because it's quite interesting. This show seems to shift every episode, and I remarked in the first episode it didn't feel like science fiction, it felt like Gothic. And as we've gone on into the season, it has felt more like science fiction, but then we also kind of get a second genre or subgenre each episode. This episode, it was the procedural, and it was from the perspective of Hap, and his big caper was to kidnap the fifth member, the last member they needed for their group, so that they could each get a key and escape. And this entailed Hap forcing Homer to go with him to Cuba. And while that was going on, we had the death and resurrection of Scott. And it was my hunch, and it was a pretty fairly obvious guess, that each episode would be structured around each the next member of their unit getting the key, that missing key that they needed. And so Scott got his. And that leads me to my second point. And on Reddit, I noticed that quite a few people had problems with the dance that the OA and Homer did, and I totally get their criticism. I understand the people defending it, that to think that it looked just a little bit strange or awkward was to be aesthetically close-minded, but I actually sympathize with the people that feel the show would have been stronger without it. I feel that the show would have been stronger if they just minimized it. And my thinking about this goes back to when you are dealing with the ineffable or the otherworldly, sometimes your imagination is better than trying to show it. So you get someone like Krzysztof Kieślowski, whose films are often about the noumenal, that strange life that exists beyond the physical world, and rather than showing us spirits or visions into the second realm, he would give us reflections in mirrors, or long steady shots that did nothing but would be intercut with strange humming in the background. And that was how he detailed the noumenal. And so I feel that that could have been the better approach, rather than showing the OA and Homer doing these moves. And my understanding is they hired a professional choreographer, someone who's worked with Tom York before, to devise those moves. I feel it would have been better to show the other people, the other captives, their reaction to what Homer and the OA were doing, to focus on Hap and the other people, and show the effects of their success in that when they finally resurrect Scott. That would have been better. That would have been leaving that noumenal to us, to our imagination, rather than getting us hung up in the crazy details of what they were doing with their hands. I think a little bit would have gone a lot farther. And that pretty much draws my review to its conclusion. I enjoyed it. I'm really loving this show. I love so many elements about it. Cinematography, the acting, the writing, the direction. Just go down point A to Z, most of it works for me. So I hope you are enjoying it too, and you'll join me for my review of Episode 6. That's all for now. Take care and be well.